Hello, everybody, and welcome. It's Let's Talk Buffs. It's episode 2 of Let's Talk Buffs. I'm sitting here with Carter. Man, I'm excited to get into this. This is a fun one. College football is right around the corner, man. I am just so stoked. I'm so happy about this. How are you feeling about this NDSU game, North Dakota State game?
Yeah, it finally feels real. I mean, we finally made it. We're a day away. I cannot wait. Cannot wait to tune into ESPN and watch that game. But yeah, college football's back. That Georgia Tech Florida State game was awesome. I can't believe Georgia Tech pulled that one out. It was good to see DJ Lundy kind of get his ankles broken after he flipped from the Buffs to FSU.
I loved that.
But yeah, college football's back, and I'm super pumped.
Bro, that was one of those plays where he tackled his teammate. I mean, he took his own guy out of the play. That was not fun for DJ Lundy. I know Buffs fans. I mean, hey, I think we're allowed to. You're allowed to get a little happy about that. Like, we could have had you, man. Hey, it's a beautiful thing right now. You're not on our team. That was crazy. That Georgia Tech game. It was wild. But yeah, well, let's talk about the Buffs, man. North Dakota State coming up tomorrow. This is going to be a really fun game. I think some people forget North Dakota State has a history of just being really, really good, winning a lot of games against Division I opponents and just having NFL players. It's always confusing to me how they get these guys into that school. It's probably just like a developmental thing, really. Trey Lance comes to mind. Christian Watson on Green Bay was a first-round pick, comes to mind. What is his name? The offensive lineman on Tampa Bay.
Cody Mock.
Cody Mock, ridiculous guard, right? Like they have NFL players all the time down at North Dakota State. Their offense, very pro style, under center. They want to run the football a ton, stuff like that. Can you just, before we get into some of these topics here, just give me your initial thoughts before this game. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about it. I mean, I think it should be a fairly easy win for the Buffs. But NDSU's a scary team. I mean, they got really nothing to lose. I mean, they're an FCS team coming into one of the biggest hyped up teams in the country. And they're physical, they're tough, they play hard. So it's going to be a tough game, but I don't think CU is really going to have any problems with North Dakota State.
Hey, man, we're in the same boat right now. I really don't. And I don't think this is bias at all. I don't. I think, bro, it's kind of bullshit. I'm getting demonetized right off the bat, but it is bullshit. You know what's going to happen, Carter? All these people are picking North Dakota State right now. All of them. If all damn near feels majority, I'll be honest with you. Outside Colorado, it feels like people think North Dakota State is going to win this game. But if CU wins, of course, we're not going to get any props about it. You can't have your cake and eat it too. I want to tell that to the fans. You can't pretend like North Dakota State, everyone's picking them to win this game, and then when CU wins, don't come crying to me talking about, well, man, it was a FCS opponent. What did you expect? I don't want to hear that.
You were supposed to win.
Exactly. Stand on that. I don't want to hear all of the other stuff after this W, and I also think it's going to be a W. A big thing I think people are missing on this, and I'm going to put my money on CU. Not only am I picking them, I'm going to put my money on CU because people are forgetting how hard it is to prepare for this team right away, Carter. That's going to be the part where, hey, man, I don't think it's going to be as close as people think. I talked to Mark Perry, who's now in the NFL. I'm forgetting which team before this offseason, and he was safety for TCU, and he was telling me on the show I did with him on Let's Talk Broncos, if you guys want to check that out, just how difficult it is to prepare for them early with all the transfers, all the different coaching staff, everything like that, to the point where they're watching well-off videos in team meetings. They're watching Deion Jr. videos in team meetings where those are designed. You're not getting anything out of those for real. You're really not. They had no idea what to expect, and they have a lot of that going into this game right here. They have a defensive coordinator who's never called plays before, coming from the NFL Cincinnati Bengals. How do you even prepare for that? You have a coach in Pat Shermer at offensive coordinator. I mean, they seriously might be watching Case Keenum on the Viking highlights, trying to figure out what Pat Shurmur's going to do. And then that's not even mentioning the players. All right, cool. So I want to see what LeJohntay Wester's all about. I have to go pop in a different game tape for that. Oh, or I want to go see what this other guy is. I have to go pop in the game tape for that. There's just not enough time in the world to even prepare for the Buffs. There's really not. And it's just a huge advantage early on. So I think people are forgetting that. I think this is going to be a blowout, man.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, looking at the numbers, you got 8 returning starters, 28 scholarship players returning. Then you got 50 new scholarships and 65 total newcomers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like it's crazy. You can't prepare for that.
No, you really can't. I don't know where you even start as a coach on preparing that. And of course, I don't think Buffs fans want that every year. I don't think we're sitting there looking at it like, yo, we want a different offensive coordinator, a defensive coordinator, and the entire team different every year. No, we don't want that every year. I'm just telling you how it's going to be at the beginning of the year right now. It's impossible to prepare for. You can't do it. I don't know where you start anything like that. And then we're not even mentioning. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of a talent deficiency, like difference in these teams. North Dakota State doesn't have the same talent as CU. They don't have a LeJohntay Wester. I'm not even sure they have an Amarion Miller. Like, I don't think they got this on their team. They're already working from a place of, hey, we have less talent than you. We have to kind of outcoach you. We have to I don't know. We have to be just more of a sound team than you guys. And then all of a sudden you're dealing with a coaching disadvantage. I don't know. I don't really see it, Carter. I don't. But let's hop into some of the topics for today. Cordell Russell, who's the wide receiver from TCU, we got a transfer from. He didn't really play last year. I think this is going to be a sophomore season, right? Or is this his redshirt freshman season?
I think he's going to be a redshirt freshman.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, he was a highly recruited player at TCU, and it sounds like he's really excited about his opportunity at CU, a second chance here. He, unfortunately, is going through shoulder surgery, so I wouldn't expect him this next game, Buffs fans. I really haven't even seen him much in the videos. I guess, Carter, what were you expecting from him to begin with this year?
I wasn't expecting much contributions from him because that's, I mean, such a deep room, but he's got talent. I mean, he's gonna be one of the focal points of that room next season. If there was an injury or something, he could have stepped up. I don't think this shoulder problem's supposed to sideline him the whole year. But it just happened recently. I mean, he was practicing a week ago, I think. Yeah. So it sucks to lose him, but I mean, they've been pretty fortunate with injuries so far through camp leading into game 1.
Yeah, he's definitely a specimen, man. You have to look at his game tape to be able to tell that. The dude is just built different. Like, he is a big-ass wide receiver. He really is. And I don't know. I'm excited to see him, and I'm excited that the Buffs got him when they have a lot more time with him. Like, I don't really care that he's going through his shoulder surgery right now. The Buffs are so loaded at receiver. I don't think he is really the focal point of this offense this year. The only way he was really going to touch the field was if injuries were going to happen. You just have too much talent in that room.
Exactly.
You really do. So it's going to come down the line, and that's why they got him as a transfer, being a younger player, and you're going to see more years with him. He's not a senior, so it's not a do or die situation here with him. I'm fine with him taking the year off, even, really, if I felt like that was the point. Like, I'm more with him. I'm more worried about the longevity than I am the right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you could find a way to get a medical red shirt for him, and then he's redshirted his first 2 seasons, I mean, it's probably not exactly what he's hoping for, but you get more years to play under your belt. But yeah, it sucks for him, but I'm not too worried about it in the grand scheme of things for this season.
Yeah, I agree. Ryan Staub solidified as quarterback 2. How do you feel about that? I feel like Buffs fans are a little all over the place on him, Carter.
Yeah, so he's looked pretty good so far in camp. The way Pat Shurmur answered it, he's actually asked a question about Dominic Ponder, who's a transfer, a walk-on, who had a pretty good camp. And he was asked about him and just immediately flipped it to Ryan Staub is our quarterback too. So just it was a little bit of a battle in camp, but Ryan Staub's looked good, and I think they're confident in him if Shador goes down. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but if it happens, he should be able to step in and be all right.
I'm just curious about, do you think this could possibly be a starting quarterback for the Buffs next year? Or do you think it's, hey, yo, we're getting a transfer or freshman no matter what?
I think no matter what, they're adding a transfer and a freshman, and I think if you add, I think Ryan Staub's going to stay and compete, and it might be a battle no matter what they do, unless it's a really good guy they're bringing in, like a stud transfer. But I would not be mad if Ryan Staub's a starter next year. I think the expectation would be a little bit higher than that.
Yeah, it just feels like the ceiling on this player is a little lower, right? And adding a transfer guy that's going to bring a lot of juice to the program, or even a freshman that, hey, in year one we're not expecting all too much, but down the road, like, these reps are going to be valuable for you right here, and we're expecting big things for you in year 2 and year 3 and year 4. Just seems a little more exciting. And also, like, this is this Colorado Buffs under Coach Prime. They have the resources to go and do stuff like that. You're seeing that with Juju Lewis. Like, you're seeing them go out and recruit these players. And if you're a quarterback transferring, I was thinking about this the other day. Most of the time when the quarterbacks transfer, especially the older ones, you're just looking at, where can I go to improve my draft status? Where can I go to make it to the pros? Colorado is not a bad spot. You got a NFL offensive coordinator down there in Pat Shurmur, right? Start off right there. So we're talking about more of a pro-styled system. Some of the stuff that you're going to see translate right away to the pros. I think, honestly, Pat Shurmur probably helped Shador's draft stock this year. That's something that I haven't seen people talk about. The Buffs offense is just going to be more pro-style than it was this last year, with all the choice routes and stuff like that. Like, I think it's going to be more NFL styled this next year under Pat Shurmur, and it's going to help him. Let's say, this is kind of interesting. Let's say Shador ends up going top 15. What quarterback in the country isn't going to want to come play for the Buffs in a transfer setting? I think they're going to be one of the first teams, especially with the wide receiver room, offensive line going in the year 2, Jordan Seaton going in the year 2. Like, these are things that are important, I think, to look at.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And not only the style of offense, but the relationships that Pat Shurmur holds in the NFL. The relationships Robert Livingston holds in the NFL. I mean, these scouts, there's scouts at practice every day. There's 2 or 3 teams represented at fall camp every day. And Coach Prime obviously has relationships with everybody. Yeah. So it's a very attractive program for any transfer. But I do think they'll add a transfer quarterback regardless, and I wouldn't rule out Staub competing for that spot.
Hey, why not? Why not? If he got a couple games this year because Shador's out or something like that, and he just lit it up, I'm not going to be mad at it, right? That's honestly what you want to see from your backup quarterback. That's not something you want to see. So that would be awesome. I think that would be better sign for the Buffs coaching staff and stuff if Ryan Staub went out there and did really, really well. Yeah, so just moving on, Coach Prime named the leaders in this group, the guys that'll have the L on their jersey. I always find it very interesting. Charlie I can never pronounce his name, Offerdahl, right?
Offerdahl,
yep, running back. Man, that one's interesting. This is a guy that kind of got it from the mud, and nothing was really given to him here at Colorado. Running back is an exciting one. Cameron Stillman Craig, corner, Shador Sanders, and then Mark Vissett are your leaders of this team. I think he's holding out on the D's on the jersey, if I'm not mistaken, Carter, right?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about the D's. I think that was I feel like he might have said somewhere that he was gonna roll that out on game day, and you'll just see who's got the dogs on the jersey. But yeah, I think this is a great group of 4 guys. I mean, you got the punter, you got the quarterback, you got a starting defensive back, and you got probably your starting running back. So I heard Robert Livingston raving about Cam Summercraig, about how much of a leader he's really been for that defense and how he's in for a really big year. But yeah, it's always cool, the little stuff that CU does like this. So I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it is cool. I think it's interesting. What do you think about like just the dogs and leaders thing just generally? What do you think about that? I think this is just one of those Coach Prime things that drives the national analysts or even the local. What the hell am I talking about? This just drives the analysts crazy. Carter, if I'm being honest with you. Well, this is the type of stuff right here when he's just changing it up from the norm. People don't like that. And this is the exact example of it. Now, in a smaller than some of the other stuff, how he treats press conferences, just how he is as a human being, I think is different than your normal college coach. And it drives him crazy. So,
I mean,
what do you think about it just generally?
I mean, if really you look at it at a fundamental level, what's the difference between throwing an L and a D on a uniform than like the Buckeyes putting one of the stickers on their helmets? I mean, what's the difference? It's the difference is it's CU. That's the difference.
Yeah, the difference is because it's Coach Prime doing it. If Ohio State did the same thing, no one would care. And I'm not saying like this is the main thing everybody's pissed off about. It's just one of the things. People just don't like Coach Prime. And they're gonna find the stuff. If Coach Prime breathes air, they're gonna be upset. They're gonna be outside damn near rioting about it. So yeah, I think it's cool, and I think it adds a different flavor to CU. Like you said with Ohio State and those stickers on the helmet. Like whatever the case is for these other schools, there's like a unique factor to it. And this is kind of part of the unique factor of CU. It's something new, something different. And I hope it's carried on, like not just with the Coach Prime era. I hope it starts to become like a CU thing. Like CU, yeah, you got dogs and leaders. That's what happens at Colorado, and no other school in the country does it. It just adds a little different character there. I wanted to talk about this though. Speaking of Carter, how people just get so pissed off at Coach Prime, the special teams coach. I can't even help but laugh after some of the memes I saw of this situation.
Oh, I know, it was funny.
But the special teams coach, he's no longer with the program, especially after trying to go to the Saudis. Man, he was out there trying to get the NIL money. He was trying to make us like, what's the soccer league they have going on down there, and the PGA whatever they have going on down there. They're trying to steal all the sports from us. So he's no longer a part of the team. I thought it was really interesting. Of course, I think the biggest headline of this on a CU Buffs program is just how the media tried to flip it into, hey, yo, like Coach Prime sent him out there. Or it was the headlines that made it seem like, yeah, the Buffs are out there doing that. And then you read the actual report and, hey, it's more of the reason why he got fired.
Yeah, exactly. There's a reason why he's no longer with the program. It's just a weird deal. But the memes, I mean, Ralphie was a camel for a day. It was hilarious. Just a small little tidbit in this CU journey we're on. Just a weird
Ralphie
deal.
was a camel. It's crazy.
Dude, I saw everything, man. I saw everything.
They had the AI generated pictures going crazy after this headline came out. It's again though, man. People don't care about the truth when the lie is just a little more entertaining. That's really what it is. People don't care about it. It's going to be another Coach Prime. Coach Prime is definitely. Let me tell you from an insider. It's like, right. Let's talk Broncos, which is our other channel. We have a whole website on this. Let me know, or let me tell you how this works. Of course, like, yeah, it's going to be bus related. Who's going to be the picture right there? It's going to be Dion. Why? Because Dion gets the clicks. So it's not going to be the special teams coordinator. That's not what we're doing. That's definitely not what we're doing. And then also the headline's not going to read that the special teams coordinator was fired because of. It's going to read that the Colorado Buffaloes were out there trying to get Saudi money from the NIL, and that's what was trying to be a situation right there. So that's why you're seeing this. I think all CU Buffs fans know that we're going to be used for clicks no matter what. We are the most hated team in the entire country. We're more hated than any NFL team. We're more hated than damn near your favorite soccer team. I don't care if you're in the Premier League. Like, we're more hated. Colorado Buffs are more hated. If you're not a fan of the Colorado Buffs, you hate them. And that's what's going on right now. There's no in between. No one's just like, yeah, Deion's cool. The Buffs are cool. Yeah, it's whatever. No, there's not a person on earth thinking about that. So you're going to see headlines that are either going to be they're winning the college football playoffs, or you're going to see it that they are the worst team in the country. Coach Prime needs to be fired, and everything in between that.
Yeah, exactly. We can't escape it. But no more Trevor Riley talk. Let's move on.
No more Trevor Riley talk. I think we're good on that too. I want to talk about the starting offensive line. I'm an offensive line guy. So it looks like Jordan Seaton's your starting left tackle. Justin Mayers is going to be your left guard. Hank Zelinskas is your center. Khalil Benson is your right guard. And Tyler Brown is your right tackle. Any shocks there for you, Carter?
Nope. This is what we expected all through camp. Khalil Benson dealt with that injury a little bit, but he came back, started practicing again, got right back in immediately with those ones. But this has kind of been the set five for the last few weeks now, and this is what you should expect to see Thursday.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I just think it's a little odd that the kid from Houston's not getting much time. That's my only thing. I watched him this offseason. I don't know if it's injury. I don't know what the situation there. I'm not going to lie to you guys and pretend like I followed it closely. But I will tell you that I did sit down and watch the film of him at Houston, and I thought he was better than Mayers. And I like to think that I'm a pretty good offensive line guy. I thought he was going to be one of the better offensive linemen they have, if not the best offensive lineman they have this next year. So I'm curious to know what happened. What happened here in this relationship, and why isn't it working out? Is he just underperforming? Like, what's happening? I would love answers on that.
Yeah, it's really hard saying. I don't remember him battling any injuries through camp. I mean, he was always at practice, but it's just got to be not fitting in / underperforming. But he seems like your next guy in with one of those guards goes down. But yeah, it was a little weird to me when he transferred in. I mean, we immediately slotted him in as a starting guard.
How yeah, you're right. You're right. I ultimately think you're right. Like, they know more than I do, obviously. Just being there. I'm just going off of last year's film, and a lot can change in a year. And I think, like, the Buffs have inside info. I go through this all the time just with, like, training camp and stuff like that. You get these coaches have so much more information because what happens in meeting rooms and stuff like that matters as well. It doesn't change in college football. If he's underperforming in the film room, if he's underperforming in school, like, there's a ton of reasons why he might not be playing here. I don't want to put any of them on him. Just throwing out there, like, they have more information than I do, so I don't want to make it seem like my take trumps all. What do you think about Tyler Brown at right tackle, though? It's kind of I know he was kind of a guard before, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit shocking. In the spring, he was trying to work his way at guard, and then he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna start working at center. Maybe center's a spot for me." Starts working after practice with Shador, getting snaps down, and then we get to fall, and he's kicked up to right tackle. So he's got an insane amount of versatility on the line. But just I like Rock. He seems like a cool dude. I'm happy for him to finally be playing again and being a starter.
Mm-hmm. Just looking at their depth, I mean, too, like, it's nice having Tyler Johnson as a backup guard, right? If you got to play him because someone gets hurt, that's cool. I think Yakari Walker from UConn, I also watched him. He's undersized. He kind of struggles at the point of attack, but this is a guy that's really quick off the ball, gets downfield and gets to his land points really good. UConn ran so much zone block scheme, wide zone with Christian Haynes down there, who's in the NFL too now. And yeah, he's good at that type of stuff. He's good at reach blocking. He's good at getting downfield, hitting his landmarks, stuff like that. So, I mean, they have some offensive line depth this year as well. which is really fun. And then on the other side of the line, you have the defensive line, Shane Cokes and Shadozi starting on your defensive line. I know Shane Cokes was kind of a shock for people. He got a lot of hate this offseason. What do you make of that?
Yeah, so it wasn't really even announced. I was just watching a well-off video, and they're ended practice, and Coach Prime says, "Where am I starting D-line at? Break us down." And Shane Cokes breaks him down right there next to Shadozi and BJ and Dayon Hayes. But it was hard. It was hard to know with all the transfers coming in and Shane Cokes sticking there, and then the rumors of him wanting to have a sort of different role on the line where he was really going to fit in. But he's seems like he's going to play. So I'm happy for him.
Do you think he plays well? That's the question I want to ask you.
I don't think he's better than Chidozie, but I don't think he's going to be an outlier in that line. It's not like we're going to see this guy getting pancaked every play and be like, holy crap, get this dude off the field. But I think they are going to rotate there. Obviously, most D-lines do. So we'll see. We'll see a couple different guys. But I just thought it was noteworthy that he broke the team down when they asked for the starting defensive lineman.
That is interesting. That is notable. And you nailed it when you were talking about, hey, it's going to be a rotation anyways. What's going to end up happening here, guys, if Shane Cokes isn't good enough, he'll work his way off the field. That's what's going to happen because it's not like this is center where he's the only center getting reps really on the football field and you're still scared to play the backup. Nah, if one of the depth players is playing better than him, what's going to happen is, all right, in week 2, the guy that played better than him is going to get an uptick in snaps and Shane Cokes is going to go down. And it's going to work his way to the point where he actually should throughout the season. It's not just right now, especially on this defensive line group. It just isn't. It's that and edge rusher. It's the most rotated group out of any group on the football field. And you're going to find your guys just through that rotation, just because you got to play so many of them. So, yeah, I understand CU fans being like, yo, Shane Cokes got this start? Like, what's up with that? I get it. I think his personality probably has a lot to do with it. Probably it's just effort has a lot to do with it. And if he's not performing at the rate you want him to, what's going to happen is you're just not going to see him on the field much anymore. So it's one of those positions where it'll work itself out, man.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we're gonna see a plethora of guys. It's not like in the NFL where you have to activate a roster. I mean, you could see 6 different guys in that interior.
Yeah, totally. You could. If you got 6 playable guys, why not play 6 playable guys on the defensive line? You want to keep those legs fresh, especially these guys are like 300-pounders on the interior. A break would be nice. They're out there hustling. Fresh legs is important. Carter, you have some really interesting questions here I want to get to. Some rapid fire questions. These are stuff that I encourage you all to. I mean, Carter's amazing. I would put my life savings on every single one of Carter's answers here. Nah, please don't do that. Please don't do that. We're going to fuck up your entire bank account if you follow us. But we have some little bets here. I might put I might put some money on all of them just to see how we add up at the end to see if we're positive or negative. Why not? I might do it.
I like it. Yeah, cool. So I'll ask you, and then I'll let you get the first answer. Then I'll take the next answer, and then we'll go from there.
All right, cool. Let me know.
All right. Who has the first catch Thursday?
I think it's LeJohntay. That's who I have making the first catch. I'm just going with who I think is going to have the most catches on the year, and I think it's going to be LeJohntay. I think LeJohntay is going to be a monster just in receptions. I really do. There's just so many ways you're going to want to feed him the ball. Carter is going to want to be underneath. He's a 3-level threat. You're going to want to get him over the top. And then even in screens, this is one of those players, we need to give him 3 design touches every single game. At least 3. So, yeah, I'm going to go LeJohntay. Why not?
Yeah, I think you nailed that screen part. I was kind of leaning Dallin Hayden because I feel like they kind of just want to just get that first play just smooth, just like a little quick screen. But I'm going to go quick slant, Will Shepherd, just get the game started.
Right. Okay. That's not a bad one because of how many receptions he had in the SEC too. If he was returning this year, he would be one of the guys that has the most track record in the SEC if he stayed back at Vandy. I don't mind that one. I don't mind that one at all. Yeah, go ahead.
Who gets the first carry?
I think it's got to be Charlie, right?
I'm going Charlie too. I think that's the best bet. I think you're gonna see a rotation between
That's
Charlie and Dallin Hayden. But I'm going Charlie.
the real question though, Connor, is how successful is it? I think that's the question with Charlie. Is this going to be a good rap, or are we going to see a lot more Dallin Hayden right after this?
Stop doubting my boy Charlie. He's gonna look good. I'm telling you, he's gonna look good.
We will see. I don't
All
know.
right.
Dallin has a little more. Anyways,
I like Dallin too. They're gonna be a good 1-2 punch. I'll say that. And then
all right.
hopefully we see some Micah. We get a big enough lead to see some Micah Welch.
Ooh, Michael Welch would be fire.
Who scores the first rushing touchdown?
Okay, so I went Charlie on that other. I'm gonna go Dallin on this one. I think you're gonna see plenty of Charlie early. Running back is another one of those positions. You even saw it last year with the Buffs. It's a rotation, and that's how the Buffs are gonna do it. I know even with, for those that don't know, with Shermer, when he was a Broncos defensive or offensive coordinator, it was definitely a rotation down here. It was Melvin Gordon, it was Philip Lindsay, right? I think that's what I expect out of this. And any fantasy owner, any fantasy football player knows that you might have that running back that takes you down there, but there's definitely going to be that running back that punches it in a split backfield, and that might be Dallin Hayden.
Oh yeah, you see that running back that you got running off the field when they're in goal line, and you're just shaking your head.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna go Shador. I think Shador gets in there.
You're going Shador for the rush.
Not design, just a little easy scramble out. Maybe a 5-yard run, and then he does a little Dion dance.
All right, well, I'm gonna need you to put a little money on it then, bro.
All
right. That's how I feel. I'm just gonna check you on all of these. If you actually believe it, I'm gonna need money on it. Anyways,
first receiving touchdown.
First receiving touchdown. Travis Hunter.
Ooh, that's who I was gonna go. But we'll pivot off.
You got Travis Hunter too.
Nah, because they were neck and neck. So I'll say my other dude. I'm gonna go Will Shepp again. I think Will Shepp's gonna have the most receiving touchdowns this season. So I'm gonna go Will Shepp.
He's definitely the most traditional type red zone target the Buffs have. He's a true X. He wants to get physical with you. He wants to catch a goal line fade. That's the type of guy you have right here. Or maybe it's a quick slant, and I might not just beat you straight off the line, but I'm going to out physically there you. I'm going to box you out. I'm going to then turn into a power forward on the rebound and get you. Like that's the type of player Will Sheppard is. So that's not a bad pick. He might have the most receiving touchdowns this year, if I'm being honest. So good pick.
So you went Dallin Hayden rushing and Travis receiving. Which of those happens first?
I'm going to go Hayden. I want a different version of the Buffs this year, so maybe this is a little, just a little hope. I want to be able to run the damn football this year. If I get down to the 1 yard line, I want to be able to punch it in. I want to be physical. I feel like Coach Prime wants that too, just listening to some of his comments. He wants to run the football this year. If we get down there in the goal line, it would be so refreshing for the Buffs to be like, yeah, we were there at the 10. We ran it twice and we got a touchdown. So that's what I'm looking for.
Totally, yeah. They're gonna smash that ball. But I'm gonna go Will Shepp. I'm gonna say first touchdown of the season, Shador to Will Shepp.
All right, fair enough.
All right, first tackle. So swapping over to defense here. Who gets the first tackle of the game?
Damn, man. This one's a little tough. Let me know what yours is first. And
I got a fire one.
Okay, go.
Shout out Shane Cokes. First tackle of the year. He's gonna shed that block and just stuff the first run of the game. Shane Cokes gets the first tackle.
All right, we got a big Shane Cokes believer here, man. You can find him at Carter Dillon on Twitter, everything like that. If Shane Cokes looks terrible, you know where to find the fan. He's sitting right in front of you here at the Let's Talk Buffs podcast. I'm gonna go. No, if I go Shiloh, that means it was a big play. I do not want it to be a big play. I'm gonna go the same position as you, but I'm gonna go Chidozie. I think that it's North Dakota State, right? So I like your thought process on inside run. They are going to be under center, and they're going to want to pound the football. Just having seen North Dakota State before. So I'm going Chidozie, especially with that weak ass center they have, little like 275-pound dude. I'm going Chidozie.
Yeah, it was between those two for me too. All right, first sack of the game goes to who, Joey?
Ooh, I want you to go first again. Damn, I'm being scared now.
I'm gonna go Trevor Woods, big blitz up the gut.
What?
Trevor Woods, just linebacker, just chases him down, gets a sack.
I gotta go BJ Green.
Okay.
This is the guy who's going to have the most sacks on the team, I think. I almost went with Sam, my guy from Pitt, but I think that comes maybe a little after the first drive.
So no Dayon Hayes.
Dayon Hayes, too. I mean, it's very possible. I think the CU Buffs edge rushers, they literally got tremendously better this year.
Oh,
For those that don't know, BJ Green is going to be a pro next year. I don't know where he's going to get drafted. A little shorter, right, than your NFL edge guy, but he's going to get drafted. So yeah, this is a guy that's going to be in the NFL. I'm gonna just go with the guy who I think's the best.
and I feel the same way about Dayon Hayes too. I think he's NFL bound as well.
Yeah.
But do we see an interception? And if so, who gets it? Or who gets the first one if you think we'll see multiple?
Preston Hodge.
Okay.
Preston Hodge.
I like that pick.
I like Preston Hodge a lot. Now I'm curious to see how much nickel he's playing, right? Because I think that's kind of a little bit of a question. Is he going to be outside or is he going to be more nickel? I think he is a nickel, another guy that has a chance to become a pro, in my opinion, in Preston Hodge. He'll be drafted as a nickel if he's drafted. He's just a damn good corner. He's sticky. He's on you. He's physical. I like Preston, so I'm gonna go Preston.
Yeah, he's totally ready for the Power 4 level. My picks can be Cam and Craig. He had that awesome pick in the Nebraska game. So that's my pick coming down from safeties is Cam and Craig.
All right. Well, I cannot wait to be right on every single one of these.
Okay. One more.
Oh, go ahead.
One more for the game, then we got to get into our prediction.
Okay.
All right. Do we have a big enough lead to see Ryan Staub at quarterback?
I don't want to. If I'm being honest with you, I want to be up 40 and not see Ryan Staub still. That's how I'm feeling after all the talk this offseason, bro. If we have a chance to put 60 up on these guys, I want to put 60 up on them. I don't want to see Ryan Staub at all. Let's save that for later. I'll keep Shador in just because that's how I'm feeling after this offseason. Then Shador is playing. I don't want to see him. No, I don't think so. I think we could have the biggest lead ever, and it's still gonna be not Shador's playing.
See, I like that, but I'm gonna go like a different direction with the lead. I want that pick on ESPN where it's prime with just arm around Shador in a hat and arm around Travis in like a hat or bucket hat, and they're just you see the scoreboard in the bottom and they're up 40 in the fourth quarter and all the starters are out. That's the statement I want. So I'm gonna go, yeah, we see Ryan Staub.
All right, fair enough. I mean I wouldn't hate it. I'm just so annoyed with how CU's been covered this offseason that I keep him in.
All right, give me your score prediction. North Dakota State at CU.
Going 31-14.
Okay.
That's how I feel right now. I'm not overly impressed with North Dakota State's talent. They have a lot of turnover this year. And then also a brand new coach. It feels like if any other coach in the country leaves, it's a huge deal. But just because no one cares about North Dakota State, they just remember them from the games they've won when they've paid attention every once in a while the last years. It doesn't matter that they lost their head coach. The turnover all of a sudden doesn't matter. Nothing matters anymore, right? Because it's North Dakota State, and we just want to see CU lose. So, yeah, I think they have the element of surprise with everything like that. I think North Dakota State's probably not going to be as good as people think they are, and I think CU just kind of dominates this game.
Yeah, it's tough for a team at that FCS level who's so big on their high school recruiting and development when you have that much turnover to really come in the first game. So I'm going to go 41-10 is my score prediction. CU wins, statement win, and roll on to Nebraska.
Fair enough. I love it. I love it. I can't wait to go through the Nebraska film too. I'm gonna get all of the film, Carter. We are both are gonna get all the film, by the way, of CU this year, week by week, and we'll definitely be doing different stuff on this channel. Maybe I don't know. We'll keep you guys updated, and I just want to get into this week one, be able to watch all that, and get a better idea of this football team. The same way it's going to be hard for North Dakota State to scout the team. Really, if I'm being honest, none of the fans have a great idea about this team. None of the analysts have a great idea about this team. Only people who really do are the people who are part of it. It's going to be Prime and the coaches. That's who has an idea of this football team. So yeah, we'll go over that. We'll have a lot of fun stuff coming for you guys. Check out our Twitter. Let's Talk Buffs. Check out LTB Buffs. Yeah, check out our Instagram. We're up everywhere. And until next time,